sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
You walk
Sanctuary.
away. Sanctuary.
Yes.
Start us off when you're ready, Jordonian.
Golly gee, it looks like it's time for another episode of the Weird Flex.
But Okay Podcast! Hello, everyone! Welcome to the Weird Flex But Okay Podcast, hosted by me and Jordan. It's your comedy weebs, workouts, and advice podcast where we answer your questions. If you would like to submit a question, please email us at weirdflexbutokpodcast@gmail.com. We love to hear from you. Also, this music is by the lovely What's My Name on Instagram and Soundcloud, and he's really cool and neato, and you know who else is cool and neato? Jordan. Jordan, how was your week?
I was all right. Better than being all left, but yeah, I was basically. What did I do last week? Last week, I think. Oh yeah, last week I got home from the gym. Well, no, actually, I didn't get home from the gym. What happened was I got home from MLP MSP on Monday, and I was in Minnesota.
And you told us that story last week.
Did I say that? I was in Minnesota. And then, I got home, and then, I had something wrong with my thumb, so I couldn't work out for a week.
I haven't heard about
this. Yeah,
this.
so I think I overused my thumb doing, various exercises, and I was just now that I've, had, a multitude of injuries in my life, I'm able to go, all right, nope. I'm not going to push through that. I know it's doing. It feels much better today, thankfully, because I have these rubber bands that help my hands. And make sure you have a hand day, people.
Rubber bands that help my hands.
Exactly. So, all I did last week was just skate. And I realized I love skating. It's, number 3 on my favorite forms of exercise now.
That's awesome.
It's, right below buddy cardio, but right above jump rope.
Yeah.
Yes. I love rollerblading is awesome, people, if you know how to brake. If you don't know how to brake, then it's terrifying.
That sounds like it would be terrible.
Oh yeah, there was this moment where my heart almost shook because I the only thing I can't do is I can't brake going downhill. My skates won't let me brake at all. They'll slow me down somewhat, but they don't stop me. So that's I have to always look so I've mapped out the area of where okay, if this hill goes up and then comes down. So that if I see a hill if I go down a hill but I notice I'm going up, then I'm fine because it's just I'll cancel it out. Equilibrium will just make me come back down and then I can stop whatever. But if I just going down a hill and there's no there's no thing going up. This is just a really steep hill. You're kind of just picking up velocity, going faster. And I'm okay, this is where I die. I think I almost impaled myself the other day because there was this thing when I was going downhill and I was trying to brake and I was fuck, I can't brake going downhill. And then so what I basically did was I do that thing where you jump into the grass knees first, and then I saw this a bunch of wires and this little fence post sticking up, and I was just oh no, I can't, no, I'm not gonna die right now, nope. And then I rolled out the way because I gotta see Donbaru. I gotta live to see Donbaru and Akira Matera animated. So it's just that was a thing that was haunted me for a bit because I was oh shit. Oh God! When you're that, just if you just went the wrong way, another multiverse one would have just oh God, that's oh God, that was close. That was too close for comfort.
Well, what did you do this weekend?
I ate pizza. I was kind of naughty. I ate food that I wasn't supposed to do because
Jordan.
What happened was it was a Friday night, and I was you know what? I haven't had a solid cheat day in a while. I've been pretty strict. I mean, at MLP MSP I did feed, but I was very active all those days. But it was just midnight hit, and usually I wait till morning to do it. But then I read this thing online because me and Paleo and Hero had this discussion about cereal. It was we were reading various hot takes, and they were saying there was one that said hot take, cereal tastes way better at night than it ever does in the morning. And it was just I was well, yeah, of course it tastes better at night because your tongue is woken up. You've eaten stuff throughout the day. So, of course, your mouth has got all the saliva and stuff. If you just wake up and eat cereal, your mouth is still...
I saw a meme recently that's kind of similar. It was kind of why does water taste so much better at 2 a.m? And the answer was because that's when it's ripe.
What? Yeah, I guess. Nasty. I guess so. That's true. But yeah, I did that. And so I fed from 12 a.m. Friday night to 12 a.m. Saturday, and I was like,
Yeah.
I had like cinnamon rolls and pizza,
Oh, God.
and I don't consider sushi a cheat food. I really don't. To me,
Yeah,
sushi is
it's
just
so
a food.
nice.
It's just rice and meat. Like I don't consider
Yeah,
that
yeah.
a cheat food at all, unless it's fried. And
Yeah.
that actually reminds me, I should order some Connie crab because I saw you at Magic City Con get Connie
Yes,
crab.
it
So why don't
was
you tell us
so
about that? I'm gonna
good.
DoorDash some of that while we
Oh
talk.
my God, I'm so jealous of you. But yeah, this weekend I went to Magic City Con. Yay! I did a panel on podcasting with
Congrats.
with Ming Chen, with John Lee Brody, and Brian Silverbacks, and it was really
Is he a
good. It was a
gorilla?
fun panel. He is not. He is not a gracious, beautiful, majestic gorilla. He is a human. And yeah, we had a fun panel, and then Kruby, we did a little panel, and that was fun. And yeah, we had a pretty chill weekend. I got to hang out with my team. I got to meet people. We did like a really fun thing with VR with some of the voice actors that I can't quite say what it was yet.
Well, like
but
that kid at Anime Expo.
Oh no, not like that. Not like that. But we got some voice actors to participate in some stuff with us, and it was really fun. And we will have videos soon once we get like all of that stuff sorted out. We will post a really fun video featuring some really cool cats. And yeah, we had a really, really nice time, and we're going to RTX in 2 weeks. I'm gonna be in Texas.
Nice. Woo!
Yeah.
If you meet Barb,
yeah?
you gotta tell her I love her puns and I love Always Open,
I
and
will.
she's really awesome and I like her.
I will do that. I wish you could be there to tell her in person.
Maybe
But
I will
alas,
be. Maybe I
it'll
might
just be
surprise
me.
you like I surprised
Oh,
everyone
shit.
at MLP MSP. You don't know.
Oh God.
You don't know.
That would
See,
be hilarious.
I'm
You're
everywhere.
right. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, exactly.
fucking
They
know.
didn't know either. Like I talked to them like, yeah, so how's that con gonna be? Yeah, I hope it's good. And they had no idea.
God.
I had already booked my flight and had a hotel room set up. So
Yeah.
you don't know.
Oh man. The ultimate betrayal. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. But yeah, I'm gonna be there hanging out with my Kruby crew, and also I'm gonna be hanging out with some other people I haven't seen in a while. I'm doing like a road trip up there, which will be fun, because I'm gonna be riding with two friends that were already going, and I just was able to hitch a ride with them. So that'll be great. 9-hour road trip, but they're really cool, so I look forward to the chat time. And yeah, but to build on what Jordan was saying a minute ago about the Kani sushi this weekend, Ming knew that I love Kani sushi, and so he was just like,
Whoa,
"Dude,
golly, what about that?
I know, what a surprise. That's such a secret thing about me."
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Dude, I'm going to DoorDash it. It's going to be great." And I was like, "Oh my God,
I thought
that
you
would
said
be
he
amazing."
Grubhubbed it.
Or Grubhub, whatever it is that delivers.
Ha! It was actually Uber Eats. I was testing how well you remembered the food you said he used.
Oh no!
So,
Well,
ha-ha.
yeah. He got it through one of those sites that delivered it, and yes, it was really good. He brought it, like I was randomly just sitting at a table, and he was just like, "Dude, I've got the sushi," and he was like,
You got
"Here,
the sushi?
eat some," and I was
Is
like,
that what
"Oh my
it's called?
God,
I got the sushi.
I got the sushi!" And then we ate it, and it was amazing. And then my friend Christine, who goes by Kanina on the internet, she a player that's really awesome. She came up and she ate some with us, and it was really awesome. And yes, that is. Oh, I also did karaoke on Saturday where I sang "Toxic" by Britney Spears. It was
No
awesome.
wonder you sang that. Because only I can be dummy thick.
Only I can be dummy thick.
I've been quoting that all weekend.
Ruby.
So Katy did this thing with her friend, another Ruby member, where like she's also the voice of like Ruby on the show, and she voices Katy voices Weiss on the show. So like she
Weiss,
did this
yeah.
thing where she was just like they were doing the clap of the ass cheeks meme with the thickness thing, and for some reason it was one of those jokes where like me and a friend were just like not even paying attention, but we heard it and we just started giggling, and it was like only I can be dummy thick, and then we just started saying it at random times like, no, you don't understand, only I can be dummy thick.
Dummy thick.
Thank you. It's just like
Yeah,
you have to
thank you.
freeze. You have to freeze when you say it. No, only I can be dummy thick, and you got to really put that
Yeah, you
in
gotta
there.
throw
You
it
got
in
to.
You gotta watch our video. It's on the Twitter if anybody listening
so
would like
funny.
to hear. It was just
It was hilarious.
some random fun. Yes,
Only
and that was
I
my
can be
weekend.
dummy thick on this
Jordan,
podcast,
please.
Katy.
Only I can be dummy thick.
Only
you.
I can be dummy fuck you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes,
You're
exactly. Now you're the dummy one, so you take it. I'm joking.
You
I
right.
love Katy to death.
Yeah, that's right. I'll fight you if you ever try to be dummy thick or dumb.
I'll fight you with love.
You can't talk about my friend that way.
You.
Don't you do it.
I'll bear hug you.
Jordan will unironically, like, we'll be in the Discord thing, and I'll make a joke about, like, man, I'm so dumb, and he'll be like, don't you talk about my friend that way.
Exactly. I really do. Every single time Katy insults herself, I'd be like, don't you fucking talk about my friend that way.
My friend that way. I'll fight you.
I'll go into your
like,
brain
oh, shit,
and
right.
inception beat you. I'll beat up the person who's making you say that in your brain.
I'll beat them up. I'll do it, bitch. Just kidding about the bitch part.
Do it. I love you so much, Katy. Oh, God.
I'll fucking fight all of that hatred. That's not really hatred. It's just like the memes. Sometimes the memes come for me. And Jordan's like, those memes better not come after my friend or I'll beat them
Memes
up.
better not hurt your feelings.
And
I swear to God.
Speaking of memes.
Are you done? You have fun?
Da da da.
Okay. All right. You good? You good? Thanks. Thank you. Okay.
So anyways, speaking of that.
Anyways. All right.
Take us to our
Paleo,
first
your
question,
turn,
Jordan.
right? All right. This comes from Twitter. What was your happiest nerd day ever?
Oh, man. There's so many.
Yes. Go ahead. Well, enlighten us.
All right.
Entail us, woman.
I'm just going to... My interpretation of this question is like times when you were just unironically super fucking hype for some nerdy ass shit. And I have quite a few. I think one of the earliest that I remember involved me just being alone in my room, watching Naruto with my Naruto headband on, singing like Yura Yura to, like the opening song, and like da 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 da, and I'd just be like, hell yeah, this is my jam, and while I'm watching Naruto, and that's an early weeb moment. But then, I remember it was a long time ago, but Orin High School Host Club was they were premiering the English dub at AWA. I think it was like 2009 or 10, somewhere in that area, and I was there. And I was a huge-ass fan of Orin High School Host Club, so naturally, I waited in the long-ass line to be able to watch the premiere of the dub, because I'm sure you could have found it online, but back then, I wasn't, like, as in with internet culture, so, like, I was like, oh my god, this is the only place I'll be able to see it until it comes out on DVD, because I was a good weeb, and because I didn't torrent my anime. Well, I guess I technically had, because I had watched the subs online, but I didn't know when the dub would be online. Anyway, that's a different story. I waited in the line, because the only way I could have been a fan of Orin High was if I did watch it illegally on the internet. So, you know,
exactly.
We're not perfect. But, okay, so I waited in the line, my good/bad weeb self. And I got in there, and I was wearing my orange jacket, and they had like a bunch of the voice cast for like the main characters at the event, and it was like a small little theatered area in there. It's like when you walk into the AWA hotel and turn left, like I still remember the theater, and it was kind of small and crowded, but it was like everybody in there was so wholesomely excited. And then like Caitlin Glass like goes up. And like, and then, you know, a few other of the main voice actors that everybody was excited to see at the time. And we're just like, are you guys ready to see it? And everybody was like, yes! Oh my gosh!
Nice.
And like, then they started playing one of the episodes. And a lot of the people in here had already seen the anime because, you know, we'd watched the subs. So we were like quoting it kind of, like to an extent. I mean, there was some translation stuff that was different. But like if there were like iconic scenes, we'd pretty much know what was happening. And we'd be like, oh my God. And like it was just a beautiful moment of all of us coming together.
Nice.
Like over this beautiful thing. And yes, that was one of my happiest nerd moments. And there's plenty more, but I want to hear some of yours before I tell more of mine.
My happiest nerd moment is coming next week, July 3rd, when Don Baru Nankira Matera finally gets an anime. And I want... No, that's good. That won't happen now. Man, I've had many happy nerd moments. Like the end scene of Endgame was a happy nerd moment.
Yeah.
A certain scene in My Little Pony Season 4, was a very nerd moment that has become very well known in this community for me, and I
no.
get linked it every single
day. Am I about
day.
to see it?
No, don't worry. You're legally obligated to contact me when you watch the season 4 finale. Like,
yes,
that's
yes,
just what you
it'll
have to
happen.
do.
It'll happen.
Yes, exactly. So that's you'll see then. I'll keep all of it away from you for the time being. But
okay,
yeah,
good.
That's what it is.
Good.
What else? Jurassic World, the ending with the T-Rex and the Raptor fighting. That was like what the fucking dinosaur. That was hype. Godzilla this year. That was hype. Nerd moments. Oh, Dragon Ball Super Broly. I was like tearing up in the theater, screaming, crying. That was awesome. That was a great nerd moment. Oh man. Usually my nerd moments account to like just hype of like animation, like oh my god, like when freaking All Might did the United States to Smash in the anime, I was like, fuck yes, it just geeked the fuck out. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, there were a lot of times where like nerd moments can kind of be at their most powerful when you're with the community. So like they can happen more at either cons or like live movie showings of stuff. Like when I saw one of the first Naruto movies in theaters, I was like, like
nice.
I just remember being so excited. So it's probably similar to that, except I was younger, so I was in the early stages of weeb, which are arguably the most hype stages of a weeb's life.
Right.
Oh man.
Yes, that was awesome though. Like, yeah, I feel you, because I feel like it was a nerd moment. We've had so many nerd moments together.
I'm trying to think of like a recent one, like one of my most recent nerd moments.
MomoCon. We were in the room watching horse videos.
That was a fun nerd moment, but I don't know if I'd put that on the top of my list.
Wow, okay. You know what? First of all,
no, and let me tell you why. Because we were looking at like old pony stuff, and it's beautiful, and I was enjoying like going down memory lane with you guys, but ponies, that show isn't really like a big part of my life at this point. So it's not really like giving me the same emotional high that it might give you guys. But like, for example, The Promised Neverland, when they were announcing the English dub, I was losing my shit. Because
see, that's your gateway, not gateway, like your gatekeeper anime thing, where you're just like, I knew about this first. You don't know how cool this is. I know how cool this is, and now it's becoming
I'm not even saying it in that sense. I'm just
joking.
saying I was excited about the dub. Yeah, bitch, I know you're joking.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Well, like like for instance, I always tell Paleo and Hero this. They're hipsters with Agretsuko, because they used to watch Aggressive Retsuko, those little shorts that Japan made.
Yeah.
Like they used to watch those minute-long shorts, and they would always like put them in the Skype chat. This is how old this is when we use Skype, and it was just like, dudes, your show's become mainstream now. Isn't that awesome? And they're like, yeah, I guess, yeah, whatever. It's so funny. And then for me, it was One Punch Man. And then other people.
Oh, yeah. Well, for me, it's Promised Neverland. And when Erica Mendez got the part of my best girl, Emma, I was like, this is perfect.
Rainbow Dash.
Oh, wow. She's Rainbow Dash?
No, back in the old days, that's how she started. She used to do like pony voiceovers, like with Rina Chan and all them. So she was like, she used to be Rainbow Dash in like a bunch of videos online. So that's what we always say, like, Rainbow Dash, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
I'll send you the video after this, because I remember back in the day it was like super hype.
Oh my gosh.
She was also in that Double Rainbow. Okay, yeah, that's I'm gonna go off topic if we talk about it. Yeah, I'll show you. Yes,
Yeah, I think those are a few of my really fun Happy Nerd Day moments. Okay, but let's see. It did say happiest nerd day. So, like, what was a day of nerding?
So you got to bone a Rock Lee cosplayer, and you just took him home, and you're just like,
never happened.
Oh my god! Well, you never got Zach to just like, Zach, just for me this one time, please.
Nope. I would have to wear the Rock Lee costume.
So it'd be like Rock Lee and Mike Guy then.
No, he just has to be him, and it's my fantasy that I'm Rock Lee.
Just make him dress up like Guy.
Nope.
Yes.
That's not part of
that's
fantasy,
how it's
Jordan.
happening.
That's not part of it. It's
God.
just me.
No.
But yeah, I had anime.
I'm surprised you've
Expo
never
had a lot of good
cosplayed Rock
moments,
Lee.
But it's on the list. It's gonna happen one day. Probably.
You can borrow mine.
Maybe a next year thing. No, I'm gonna get like a legit one. Like,
oh wow! Excuse me, princess.
You're the one that literally told me that yours was kind of like not meant to be like.
You right? I bootlegged that shit so bad. All I did was get one of those green spandex suits from Amazon, and then I got like some tape for my hands. some orange stockings. So great. Yeah, I want to buy an authentic one.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm not sure if I want to do like a pigtails like sexy jutsu Lee, or if I want to just go ham on real Lee. Like that would be funny.
Do sexy jutsu Lee.
Yeah, because I've seen a few of those where like they have like the cute little pigtail things. And
you wear short shorts as Lee. Do that.
Well, no, I'd still wear the full bodysuit, but I would just have like longer hair.
Okay.
Because the suit's gonna fit me like womanly anyway. It's not gonna fit me like a bouldering man. Well, not that Lee is a bouldering man. He's kind of
he's not really buff.
He's a lanky boy. But
why is Lee not
boys.
Jacked by now? You think about that?
That
point. Annoys me.
He's very skinny. Like he's
have they ever had a shirtless
frame
scene
of someone that's fit? You know.
Have they ever had a shirtless scene of Lee? You would know because you're the Rock Lee fangirl. So have they ever had a shirtless scene of Lee?
Like I cannot confirm or deny Lee being shirtless.
Now that I think about it, I've never seen him shirtless.
I don't think I have either.
Unless
there was a scene like it was like a watery scene because I could have sworn he was like.
Was it Lee or Guy? Because Guy's been like in Speedos before. And he's muscular.
Yeah, well, that is true. But no, I think Lee was like doing something derpy near a waterfall. But this could be just my imagination, which it goes to a lot. But.
Because like that is one of my pet peeves in shows is where like they have a character just train their ass off, and then like they just have him look average as fuck. Because I'm just like Lee does so many handstand push-ups like a day. I'm just like, boy, no, his triceps and like shoulders should be just like amazing by now, but no, it's just like.
But wait, isn't it possible to like? This is actually kind of a fitnessy kind of question, I guess, from me to you.
Yeah, sure.
Isn't it possible that like no matter how much you like work out, your body won't be like big and buff like you want it to? Because for example, I have a friend that is very, very skinny, and he like it's almost like a medical condition to a sense because like he works out, he works out a lot. He like will drink a shit ton of milk and like drink like and eat like calories and calories and calories, but he stays like small, like very small. Like he doesn't get fat, and he's getting older too. Like so he's like 30 something, and he's like super fucking skinny. You would think he starves himself, but no, he's constantly like carbs and working out,
Shaggy
doing all this
style.
stuff. Yeah, it's very Shaggy style. Yeah, and so it's is that like an outlier, or is that like just something that can happen?
Well, that is something that can happen because, for instance, I have had many clients in the past who just cannot put on weight. It's a very arduous process because like some people have this mistaken ideal that putting on weight is easier than losing weight, and that's just a fallacy if you're doing it cleanly, because to put on weight naturally you have to do a lot of work. You have to make sure you're sleeping enough, you have to make sure you're eating enough, you have to make sure you're training properly, like you're training for hypertrophy, you're not just training for strength. Because for instance, you can like do certain exercises that would like make you stronger but won't necessarily bulk you up. Like for instance, like if you're a power lifter and you like do a bunch of powerlifting, you're like gonna be hitting rep ranges where like, okay, your strength is increasing and you won't look like the most brolic guy around, but you'll be strong as fuck. Like we actually have a term for that where it's called hiding your power level, where it's just like you're really strong, like you could deadlift like 500 pounds, but you don't look it, and it's just like, oh snap, like yeah, it's different because training for muscle growth is different than training for just to be strong and healthy and stuff like that, because like training for muscle growth, muscles grow from time under tension, so like really making sure you're contracting the muscle when working it. So usually a rep range around like 8 to 12 reps where muscle failure is hit.
So is it possible that Lee just might be one of those body types that no matter what he does, he can't bulk?
Well, you know what I think it is? When you think about it, Lee doesn't really eat much, does he? He eats enough, but he doesn't really eat a lot.
Yeah, he eats like he considers everything training. So like when it comes to like the food he eats, he only will eat like, I guess, for the purpose of, is this what I need to serve my body? So like,
yeah, but he doesn't like eat like
a lot or like
less. For instance, you know how like Goku or Naruto or like certain people or like Yoriichi from Bleach and stuff like that, where like they like, oh, I just trained my ass off, I'm gonna go eat like 10 bowls of like rice and beef. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't really do that. He just sort of eats like an average person, so that probably is another reason why. And then also, Lee, I don't know how much he trains when he sleeps too, so that's a big thing right there. But also, like, I feel like he should at least be lean, like very lean. Like, it doesn't have to be like super yoked up, but like just very lean, like sort of like how a less muscular version of Saitama, just from the amount he trains. Like, I just feel like he should be very lean and muscular.
Yeah,
doesn't have to be super yoked.
Because I've seen, again, like, I'll show you a picture of my friend later, and it's just like, I wonder if it's just like an outlier situation where people can, like, they just have a body type, and no matter what they do, it won't get bulkier, it won't get bigger. Like, this is where they're stuck at. Or if there's certain things that have to be done to get there, because maybe Rock Lee is that type of thing. I don't know. Just like maybe no matter what you do, there's a certain like smallness that you maybe can't get to, or I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't speak all of the fitness stuff, but maybe Rock Lee's just a lanky boy.
Okay.
Or maybe he's just failing. And speaking of failures...
Well, muscle failure is an important way to get stronger.
Oh?
Well, yeah, because like if you push your muscles to failure, it means you worked them to their max capacity. So now it's like, all I got to do is get stronger next time.
Oh.
Yeah, so there you go.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, with our next question, why don't you describe to us one of your biggest failures?
Do I have to?
I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be like your big. If there's something too personal you don't want to share with our podcasters, then that's fine. Oh.
My love life. I
was
in love, and my heart got smashed to pieces, and it was all my fault. And I look back on that day every day, and I realize it was my fault. But I'm man enough to admit that it was my fault, and I can go forward and move on with my life because I am now successful, and I have other stuff that matters to me. I have a YouTube channel.
Yay.
I got good money. I got a strong body. I got good friends. I got Katy. I got all these other people. So yeah.
That's awesome. Because like there's lots of situations I'm trying to think about from my perspective that I feel like could be failures, but then I'm also just like for example, stuff with like exes that I've had. But like is it a failure if like that relationship probably should have ended? Or
that's what
like,
I think back on it.
There was nothing that you could have done to fix it because it's a two-way street. You both have to be willing, to do something. So is it just a failure for you? Or is it like something more where it's like this was going to go down either way, so it was good that we ended it, so it was success that I was able to see I needed to get out of it? Or
honestly, now that you mention that, I think that's true. Because like if I think about it, if things did work out, I don't think it would have went well.
Yeah,
to be honest,
yeah.
like I'm just like I don't think it would have went well. So like, you know what? Honestly, I'm just gonna say this right now. I hope I don't mean this in like a negative way or anything like that, but I do hope at least everyone at least once in their life experiences some form of heartbreak like that, just to feel like, okay, so this is the type of pain that sucks, but you have to go through it as a growing experience. Because like I think of it like if I didn't go through that pain, I'd sort of be the same, and I sort of wouldn't like be as productive and in the place I am now. So I'm saying like I do think it is like a very helpful, motivating thing. It will hurt like hell, but it's like a growing pain. It's a growing pain that you have to go through.
Perspectives on like what you type of relationship you need, but also like what isn't and is okay for you in a relationship and stuff like that. There are some things that I think it's okay if you never have to go through, if you never have to deal with them, and it's probably better that you don't. But when it comes to like heartbreak or experiencing ups and downs in relationships, that's something that I think should be experienced as soon as you can. Like understanding the conflicts, or if something isn't right for you, like if you can be lucky enough to get it completely right on the first try, that's crazy. But again, that could be subjective, and that's crazy and wonderful is what I mean. Like that's amazing if you were able to do that, but like a lot of the time it doesn't really work out that way. And sometimes it's better to have had at least one example of maybe I don't like this, so that you'll know going forward how to really appreciate or how to understand what's best for you. But yeah, I guess trying to describe a colossal failure, like, so yeah, I don't know if I'd consider like exes and stuff in that category because, again, it's probably better to not be together. Just like whenever I hear there's like a comedy bit about like if someone's getting a divorce, no good relationship ends in divorce, which means like if you were in a good relationship, then there wouldn't be a divorce because you were both happy. But if there's a divorce happening, that means obviously something was wrong. One of you was not happy. And it's good for you to move on. Yeah, and it's good for you to be out of that situation that isn't good for both of you. Because if you're both not perfectly happy together and doing all that stuff, then you shouldn't be together. So, like, yeah, so that's, like, a positive spin on, like, divorce and breaking up and stuff that I've seen. It's like, because it's not a failure, it's success if you're able to get out of a situation that isn't bettering you.
Right.
And so, but I'm trying to think of, like, failures. I know that...
I can think of one when we were at Anime Expo, and you were like, where's the key to the door? And then you were like, it was right there. And it was a big ass keyblade. And you were
like, there it is.
That was funny. That was really
amazing. I'm trying to like think of like a serious one. Like, cause this is hard. Cause I try to frame things positively when I can, but I know I've gone through shit that isn't very good. That could be considered.
I'll do another one then. Here's one.
Yeah, you do one.
I remember this one time I was super excited for a track race, a track meet I had to do because I always used to run track meets when I was a kid. But then, like, I don't know, like someone got into my head and said, like, hey, yeah, those guys are going to dust your entire class. You know that, right? Like, they're just way too fast over there. And for some reason, I kept overthinking it. And even though, like, I had faster times than all of them during the, like, 100-meter, like, I just had it stuck in my head. So, like, I came in, like, in last place in that race in front of all these people that came out cheer. So, like, I felt, like, really, like, shit about that. Like, okay, yeah, I can't. Yep, I'm doing it. And then it just, that was like a horrible, horrible feeling. And then, but it was a good learning experience. It was a good learning experience to be like, oh yeah, like this is why I had to do it.
Yeah. There might be situations like, cause maybe this is like a double-edged sword here in that I try not to look at things through perspectives of like failure and past. I try to find that neutral, positive ground. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's important to maybe reflect on if something like, cause I try not to look at things in that extreme in that sense.
Right.
But there are times where things have not gone my way and it's been bad, but then I try to, pick myself up, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. What was it? This is hard. This is really hard trying to pinpoint, like, a moment that's like, you have failed.
You have failed.
You have failed.
You have failed me for the last time.
Because again, like, that's also, like, whenever I hear that phrase of, like in, like, the creepy movies with, like, the villain being like, haha, you have failed me. It's like, well, no, because maybe they were gathering information. Maybe this is the positive that you could see in this situation. Like it's not so much failure if they come back with more than they had before. Like, sometimes things take progress. I don't know.
Panicked,
that's like,
and now your weaknesses cost the lives of 3 others.
Oh yeah, that could be a failure.
Like, you remember? Did you ever see The Dark Knight Rises?
I probably did, but I can't remember.
With Bane with the metal squid on his face. Oh, of course, I'm Bane. You know what I'm talking about? The bald guy with the...
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like, there's a part in the movie where, like, he's like, why are you here? And it's like, we brought the police commissioner. And it's just like, so you brought him down here to our entire operation that he could see us, like, do this. And he was like, we panicked. We didn't know what to do. And it's just like, you panicked. And now your weakness has cost the lives of 3 others. And he's just like, and then he just chokes the guy. And he's just like, search him, and then I will kill you.
Oh, my God. So, you know what? I'm going to say something then. Because I'm having so much trouble here, I think that describing things as a failure can be a toxic mindset, you know? And here's why. I don't think if you're actively out there trying to do something and it doesn't go your way, that's not necessarily a failure. Just like there were plenty of auditions that I did where I didn't get them and I really wanted it. Like, there was so many opportunities it could have led to if I got it and I didn't book it. And I was sad and it felt like a failure, like, oh, I wasn't good enough. But, I had that experience and, like, I don't know.
I respect the
some people could
person
maybe,
who goes out on the track and comes out dead last, rather than person who's like, yeah, I'm not even gonna try.
yeah, because I had recently, a few months ago, I guess this would be something I'd be considering the most recent quote unquote failure. But like I had a big audition for like a company that I've looked up to for a long time, and I had like potentially a chance to be on like an actual show, like an animated series that's like important to me.
Right.
And like I sent in my audition because I had gotten the sides, I signed the NDA, and this was the first time I'd auditioned for something this big. Like I'd auditioned for stuff like, that's online, but I got this personally emailed to me.
Mm-hmm.
So like it felt like a huge opportunity. And the fact that I sent in my audition and I never got a response, which is normal, which is common. You forget your auditions. But it hurt. Like it stuck with me for a little bit, and I guess that shows because I'm still talking about it. And it felt kind of like a failure of like, oh my God, I blew my shot. This was my shot. But then I kept being like, no, the fact that you had an audition from this company. Not everybody can say that. Not everybody can get to that place even. Like you have to realize your floor is somebody else's ceiling. And for a period of time, I never thought that was possible.
Right.
So the fact that I had that opportunity is crazy in itself. And then two, the fact that like now that I've sent an audition and I think I did pretty okay on it, I'm in their talent pool, which is more progress than whatever else. So like there might be more in the future. There might be more opportunities because of this opportunity.
Yeah.
So there are positives I can take out of it. And while I didn't get it, and that can feel kind of like a failure, I don't think I failed. I think what would have been failing would have been to be too intimidated by it, to learn from it, or to even try and just be like, oh well, there's no way I'm good enough, so I'm just not even gonna read for it.
Right.
And so yeah, it's just like all about that perspective in that sense, because I don't think you've ever, if you're trying, then you haven't truly failed at something.
Right.
But like one thing I will say too is like expectations and stuff can also kind of go into that, because like I've definitely I know that I'm ranting about how trying is what makes it better, but like there are personal projects that I've started that I didn't want to give myself fully to them, because I didn't want, if I can't invest the full time in them, then I don't want to be that person that says, hey, I'm doing this thing, and then not finish it, because I would hate to be looked at as the person that starts stuff and doesn't finish it. So I never post publicly about projects that I have going on behind the scenes unless it gets to a certain point where I feel like it will get done. And like that way I can have the freedom to drop it in case something goes wrong, and that way nobody looks at me as like, oh wow, she can't even do this or that. And there was a project a while back that I had sort of started on with somebody, and I was like, look, I don't want us to talk about this publicly just in case. Like I have a lot going on in my life and I can't give this my everything, so I don't want to put it out there like I am giving it my everything. And so the fact that it kind of got dropped, like I wouldn't consider it a failure, but I wouldn't consider it a failure because I didn't really try.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like I didn't give it everything that I could have. And so when it got dropped, I didn't feel as bad as I would have if I would have announced this project and then nothing have come from it.
Right.
But the person I was working with was like, oh, well, I just kind of want to talk about it publicly because I think it's a really cool thing. And I was just kind of like, well, if you're working on it with me, I don't want my reputation to be attached to something that, even if, yes, it is just for fun, but I want to be seen as somebody that gets shit done. So if I'm going to be public about something, it's going to get done. So that's just kind of a little venture into my head, because like that stuff is really important to me. And that's like another example of like how you're not really a failure. It depends on your expectations with stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of ranting again.
No, that's good. I'm listening.
But yeah, that's a perspective of that too. Like, yeah, just manage and figure out what you want something to be and do your best to make it as much of that as you can. And if you want to be public about something that might not get done, that's fine and that's valid. It's just for me something that I would feel like a failure if people thought that this cool project was coming out and then it didn't.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well,
But I do have some back burner projects right now that I might announce after we get to a certain point in the production of it.
Beautiful.
Which would be awesome. And one of
Yeah.
them is getting pretty close. So
Nice.
just like, because me and Jordan were actually talking earlier, and he was talking about, like, I never show my power level. I always have stuff going on in the background, and I don't brag about it or anything, but then when it's ready, bam, I put it out there.
Right. Like Zordon
And-
just said. Sorry about that. My phone. God damn.
Oh, no, you're
in
fine.
airplane mode. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Just like, don't tell people your plans. Show them your results.
Yeah, because, like, anybody can talk, but to show that you've been doing the work, to show that you have something done, that's where the real magic happens.
Exactamundo.
Because, like, oh my gosh, because, like, side rant, and people that, like, talk about, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and they've been talking about it for like 5 years, and they
So
haven't done
annoying.
it.
Like,
I
so
know.
fucking annoying. It's just like, stop talking about it then. Like, you
Then
keep
do
like
it.
making these
Just
big
fucking
ass
do
posts.
it.
Just
Yeah.
fucking do it, like Nike, man. Like, seriously, that
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf thing, people memed it, but it has valid points. It's like, don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah.
Like, people just wake up and
And
talk
of course,
about it. Just
there's
do
like,
it.
there's different levels and context to that too, because, like, if it's, for example, like a costume you want to do, that's very low stakes. Like, it doesn't matter if you're like, oh, one day I'll do this, because, like, that's fine. Nobody cares. If you want
Right.
to do that, that's great. Like me and the Rock Lee costume. Like, I want to do it someday. I've said for like a year I'm gonna do it someday, so maybe I will. But if I don't, I'm okay with that being out there, that, like, oh, she never cosplayed Lee, because, like, I don't know, it's just a costume, grow up. But like, there's other stuff where it might be better to keep it secret for a while, so that when you put it out there,
Exactly.
it can be like, whoa, that's really cool.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly,
fucking true.
when we were starting the podcast, I had not really told a lot of people, or anybody really, that, like, I'd wanted to. But I think one day I was at a party or something, and somebody was asking me, like, so what have you been up to? What have you been wanting to do? And I think it was the day before I pitched it to you, because I had thought about it. I was like,
Right.
you know, I'd really love to start a podcast with my friend. And it would be about,
Really?
we'd answer questions. Yeah, I actually said this
You
to
never told me. Oh,
some
okay.
person at a party. Like, it was the day before I told you, like, let's start a podcast. I was at, like, a thing, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna see if they want to do that, because I've been thinking about it, and I think it'd be really fun. And they were just like, oh, dude, that sounds awesome. I'll listen to it if you do it. And the next day, I was like, Jordan, we should start a podcast. And, like, there was a part of me that was afraid of, like, you know, oh, failure or whatever. But it was all about the
Were you
expectations.
afraid I'd be like, yeah, no.
I guess I wasn't sure what you'd say, because I'd never tried something like that. So it was such an unknown territory that I was like, if he says no, or
Wait,
if,
how
like,
friends were-
whatever happens.
How good friends were we at this point?
Well, I mean, this was only like in what, October, November?
Okay, October. Yeah, so we've been 3 cons. So we already did our
Yeah.
bonding.
Oh yeah. It was already like, it was at a point where we were like the only reason I'd sort of wanted to start it with you is because I felt like we had such, like, a strong relationship, and every time we talked, we would talk for like 4 hours. So I was like, I want to do more of that, because the con season was kind of over, so I wasn't having any cons to look forward to seeing you at. So I was like, let's do this, and it's turned out really good. But
Yeah.
I don't feel like if it ended, I don't feel like it would be a failure, because I feel like we've been having fun, and I love listening back to old episodes and getting that, like, same feeling of talking to my friend. But I don't think it's ending anytime soon, and, like, it makes me happy that we get to go on this journey.
Yeah.
And, like, the fact that I told somebody about it, and if it hadn't have happened, I tried. I at least tried to tell you about it. And if you would have been like, oh, I don't know if I can do that, then I could have been like, you know, I put myself in a position to be vulnerable. And at the end of the day, that's really cool.
Your thoughts are weak. That was really good. Let me see. I want to see if I can. Oh, yeah, but that's cool. That's a nice. I did not know that. I thought it was just a random thing. Like, hey, you want to start a podcast? I thought it was just like, oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah.
I'll do it.
I mean, when I messaged you about it, like, again, like, it was something, it wasn't like a 100% out of the blue thing. It was something that I'd been thinking about for a minute, because I'd been listening, not like, you know, for months, but like for about a week, I had been like, you know, listening to podcasts for a while. So I was like, in my head, I was like, man, Jordan, I want to talk to Jordan more. Dude, maybe we can have like a podcast or something. And then it was just something that I was like, oh, but how would that even work? And then I was like, well, maybe you could do this. So then, like, I would just keep thinking about it, and I was like, man, the more I think about it, the more fun that this sounds. Like, that sounds really cool. And I wonder if he'd be, I don't know. And then I happened to be at the party and I was thinking about it. And my friend was just like, so what have you been up to? And I was like, I think I want to start a podcast. Like, and so then I told you it wasn't like a friend I'm super close to. It was just like the person that happened to ask me at the time.
Oh, nice. So what you been up to? I think of starting a podcast. I want to. Really badly.
Well, all right. And I can't remember if I told Zach to, like, if I did, it was just like, or I know I told him after I had asked you, but I can't remember if I mentioned the idea to him beforehand. Because it was something I'd been kind of just keeping to myself, like, thinking about. Mm-hmm. And then, like, it happened. And it was like, oh, shit, here we are. Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh. And speaking of where we are, Jordan, why don't you take us to our next question?
All right, no problem. But that was a nice
Hell
story.
yeah.
I did not know about that, so I feel all warm and fuzzy inside. That's why I got all quiet, because I was getting a little choked up. So good. Anyways, man shit. All right, I slapped myself. I ain't no bitch. All right, so what is your favorite rebooted series? I don't know why I said quality series. So something that was old that's been rebooted. So I guess for you it'd probably be She-Ra, right? Because you never watched the old She-Ra.
Yeah. I'd never watched the original She-Ra, but I really like the She-Ra series on Netflix. But does it have to be a show that I watched the original of? Because
okay, cool. We can do that too.
I can't think of one that I watched the. Oh, Muppet
DuckTales.
Babies. Muppet Babies has a reboot.
Does it?
Like, yeah.
But do you like the reboot?
I've only watched a little bit of it, but Ben Deskin plays Gonzo, and I've seen like a few clips from it, and it's really wholesome and cute, and I think it's really good.
Okay, I didn't know that was out. I mean, I really like the '90s one. So
or would that be described as a reboot because they had an animated version in the '90s, and now they have a new?
Is it a continuation?
No, it's like new type of animation, like new new characters.
Oh, that's a reboot then. Yeah, that's a reboot.
Yeah, okay, it's a reboot. But they still have Kermit and Miss Piggy and Gonzo and Fozzie.
Like, for instance, is a sequel, like, there's a difference between, like, a sequel series and a reboot. Because, for example, that Hey Arnold Jungle movie that came out in 2017.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a new series. It just has, like, again, some of the big characters and then, like, one new penguin character, which, if she existed before, I don't remember her. But, like, and it's not
Pingu?
as many. It's like a penguin girl thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's really cute. I've only seen, again, like 2 or 3 episodes because I just wanted to see how it was, and I really liked it.
Okay.
But I really like She-Ra, and honestly, the My Little Pony thing, I'm watching
G4.
the show through right now. Yeah, and I'm on season 4, and it's like the newest version of what started as a show in like the 80s, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's Generation 4.
Yeah, so it's a reboot. So I haven't seen any other iteration of My Little Pony, but the one I'm watching right now I really like it. So
nice. Nice. She's becoming one of us. One of us. Gobble.
So what was yours?
God,
DuckTales.
I mean, DuckTales, the new show, is really great. I'm not gonna lie.
I need to watch it.
It's so good. It's like really good. Like super quality. Like that is cool about kid shows these days. It's like there's a lot of like you can tell. Like either love is going into them where it's just like we love these characters, we grew up with them, now let's show how they'd be in modern day. So like that's what it is, and this reboot is really good. Also, I guess Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but the thing is they meet each other. Like the 80s Turtles met the 2003 Turtles, and the 2003 the 80s Turtles also met the 2012 Turtles, and those are really good shows. So I guess superhero shows don't really count because they're always changing.
Well, with Teen Titans, they had Teen Titans Go, and
but that's not really a reboot, I wouldn't say.
Oh, it's not.
I think that's like its own thing.
But aren't they changing like a lot about it? Like,
well,
it's not the same plot.
You remember how the end of Teen Titans Go to the movies, how they reference that the show is coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that is like, okay, it's a continuation. This is like a spin. Teen Titans Go is like a comedic spin-off. It's not really a reboot.
Okay.
Like a reboot is like...
I will say...
here's an example. Thundercats.
More, but I love the Teen Titans Go movie a lot.
Yeah. You remember Thundercats?
I never watched it growing up, but I know what it is.
Okay, so like there's Thundercats, the 80s show. There's Thundercats, the 2011 show, which is a reboot. And then they got the Thundercats Roar, which is extra cartoony that everyone was like, okay, well, this is
and that's
just
more of a sideshow, not a reboot.
Well, no, this one is a reboot because they're taking something. Like, I think the problem with Thundercats Roar is that it came out when they had a pretty good show with the 2011 series. The 2011 Thundercats was really good, but it got canceled. So the fact that it got canceled and they're like, oh, we're bringing Thundercats back. People are like, yeah, but it's like, oh, but it's not your Thundercats. It's this cartoony thing.
Yeah.
So it's just going to like automatically like push away people like, yeah, no, I don't want this shit. So yeah, I think that is what it is like. I honestly do. I think it's just another one is He-Man. He-Man, like She-Ra's cousin, He-Man. I hope he appears in She-Ra. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But yeah, they had a great He-Man reboot in 2001 for Toonami, which was really great. Voltron rebooted. Nah, that was a pretty good show. Yeah, Voltron. Yeah, there are tons of shows that I like when they like update it for the new terms and stuff like that. Like I think they did it with like Astro Boy 2 and all these other movies. But yeah, I really do like when they do that.
SpongeBob is getting a reboot, right?
I thought SpongeBob was getting a spinoff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the characters.
Okay, so it would technically be in the continuation category, so it wouldn't be a reboot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I knew there was some controversy surrounding it, but I wasn't quite sure. Oh, Evangelion. That just got a reboot, right?
Yeah, Evangeline got a reboot.
Evangelo.
Yeah, he thinks Shin Godzilla's
Dude, guess who plays Shinji?
Who?
Casey.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Good for her.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
So awesome.
Casey, we met at Anime Expo, right?
Yeah. That Casey.
Okay, cool.
Dude, I was just like, that was just so cool because I was like, oh shit, that's Casey. And
Who
I was
does
like,
Erica
what?
Mendez play in it? Because I feel like she's in it.
You feel like she's in it. I haven't looked at the full cast list, but you know.
Well, no, because like the thing is, Erica Mendez is now like the queen of Netflix. Like if there's a Netflix anime, you know she's in it.
Yeah.
And like Ben Diskin too. Like Ben is like in so much Netflix stuff, and it's just like,
I mean,
yeah.
But Ben has been like the voice of your childhood.
Yeah, he has. He was freaking Eugene on Hey Arnold.
Yeah, he was like number 1 and number
2
in My Hero
Kids Next Door.
Oh my god. In My Hero Next Door.
My Hero Next Door.
Kids Next Door. Yes.
My Hero Next Door.
Yes.
It just has it has Class 1A, and they're all in Kids Next Door,
yes,
like operatives.
Exactly.
Who would Deku be? Would Deku be? What number would Deku be?
Okay, Deku would be honestly, he would be Kooky.
Oh yeah, he would be number 3.
He'd be number 3.
Number 3.
I mean, because come on.
Yeah, he would be. So who would be number 1? Not Bakugo would not be number 1.
I think Ida would be number 1.
Bakugo's number 4.
Who's number 5?
Number 5 has got to be. Who's the chill one in class? Who's the? Oh god, there's a. Oh shit, there actually is a chill one in the class. I'm trying to remember. Oh my god, who is it? This is gonna drive me crazy.
Give me a cast list.
From class 1A? I'm trying to think. Number 5. I guess not Yayurozu is... I mean... Mina Ashida...
The main characters in the new show...
The rock girl.
Oh, wait. Sorry, what?
The rocker girl.
Oh, yeah. She could be number 5.
Yeah, she's chill.
Yeah. Who would be Hoagie?
Number 2?
Yeah.
Probably Ochako, because she's like a air brain.
Oh, yeah.
She's sort of airheaded, so yeah, I feel like, oh yeah.
I can't seem to find the entire cast. Oh, wait, here we go. Shinji, Casey Mangelo. Casey. Okay, let's see. Ben Diskin is Kensuke.
Knew it.
Johnny Youngbosh is Toji.
Oh, the Black Ranger / Ichigo.
No, I see Erica Lynn Beck, but I don't see Erica Mendez.
Erica Lynn Beck, I know her. She's Chile.
Erica Lynn Beck is Ritsuko.
She's Chile.
Chile?
From Broly, the green girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've never watched Neon Genesis Evangelion. I've seen like one movie from it, and it was like subbed. So
Evangelion.
I don't know a lot of the Evangelion.
I have no idea what. I've never watched that show. All I know is some guy jerks off over a girl.
Casey. That's so cool. And of course Ben's in it. And no Erica Mendez yet, but maybe she'll be an extra or something. I don't know.
She's in everything.
She is in
Netflix.
everything, and she deserves it. Damn it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, like she's.
Yeah. Dude, she's fucking awesome. she's like, I mean, I hadn't really been like a huge fan in the sense of like I haven't watched a lot of shows where I'm like, oh yeah, Erica Mendez, but when I mean, I've always been proud of her and like, yes, you go queen. But
we
I
always
been,
just tell her, like, hey, Rainbow Dash, Rainbow Dash is in this
nice.
now. So,
when she got the part of Emma in Promised Neverland, and when she's Retsuko and Agretzko, those are the two roles that I'm just like, like I'm just like, yes, queen. I wish Christina V was in it.
Oh yeah, Christina V is in everything too. She's awesome.
Christina V is.
She's got fake boobaroos, but that's good.
Oh yeah, she did announce that on Twitter for everyone who would like to know. And
I knew from the beginning because I can tell by buuyancy. So thank you, and Brain. Me and Paleo like high-fived each other like we knew. We called it. There's nothing wrong with it, people. But
yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
We knew.
And she was putting it on Twitter. She was like, "Hey, everybody."
She showed him on Twitter? Wait, what?
Well, no, she made a status on Twitter.
I was about to say, like, what?
I'm just going to let you know these are fake boberos. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, girl. You do you. And she was like, yee. Well, not to me, but just on Twitter. She was like, yee. And speaking of yee.
Jessica Negri's are fake, too. Okay, let's see. Anyways. Go ahead.
Our next question is about some more fitness stuff.
Is it really?
It says, Dear Jordan and Katy, I know this is going to sound like complaining, when people tend to have the opposite problem. I work all the time, and all I do is lose weight. When I'm trying to gain muscle, I can eat whatever and still lose weight. If I stop working out, I just stay at a consistent weight. How do I gain weight and stay healthy at the same time while working out? Love listening to the podcast. Keep up the good work. Dion.
See, this is the honest to God like answer that not many people realize. It's just like you have to consume more calories. Like, some people will say like, oh, I eat a lot. Like, I eat a lot. It's just like, you have to eat more than, dude, because like the way you grow is from extra food. So like, you don't have to eat it, but you can drink it. Like, for example, like you can make a 1,200 calorie shake that's like a protein shake, and then down that, and then like hopefully you have an appetite just to eat more, because like you're in a situation where you're saying like you work out all the time, you're trying to gain muscle, and that's where muscles grow from. Muscles grow from getting enough sleep, training properly, and making sure you're eating enough. So like that really is the ultimate thing. Like, not enough people do this. Like, they'll say like, because like, you know what you should do? Track your food. Like, use a log like MyFitnessPal, which is what I do. And then some people will always do this thing of like, Jax, I need to bulk up. I need to gain muscle. I'm like, do you have your food log? Can I just look at it and see where you went wrong? I'm like, oh man, I don't really use a food log. I just eat like just a lot, man. I'm just like, well, I don't have any reference because you're just telling me this, but I can't see how much you ate. If you had a food log, I could go through and just be like, huh, okay, well, you should increase this. So like, make sure you log your food, like use MyFitnessPal, log your food, and then consume more calories. Like, if you feel like, okay, you're not getting it all, make sure you're eating more calories. Like, that's the biggest thing you have to do. Also, make sure when you're training for hypertrophy, if that's what you want to do, if you want to build muscle. Like, hypertrophy is typically around 8 to 12 reps. Now, it is different for some people. Some people will typically, like, you got to find the rep range that works for you. But typically it's 8 to 12 reps and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. But no, that's the thing though. Like, some people just have different rep range. So find what works for you. Really stimulate that muscle, make it grow. And like, again, it's just a constant process of doing it over and over again, of like eating, sleeping, drinking. Like, that's why some people who do like actors in the movies and stuff like that, when they do their roles, they always talk about like how tiring it is. It's like they just constantly have to eat. They constantly are eating and eating and eating and stuff like that. It's because it's very tiring. Like, for instance, Hugh Jackman, the Wolverine himself, he had a problem with this too. And what he would do is he would set an alarm like at like midnight. And then he would go down to like the fridge and eat a whole rotisserie chicken and then go back to sleep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, hopefully it's nothing like that. But he had a role. Like, if you're being paid millions to look a certain way, you're going to do extra stuff. So it's just like, just make sure you're consuming more.
That's crazy.
It is.
And chicken sounds delicious.
Yeah, I know, right? Especially after you wake up at 12 eat it every night, cold chicken.
Yeah. That's really cool, though. Like, I hope that helped out that person. And who knows? Maybe they're just also the type of person that... Or, yeah, so is it possible to get... Like, is your body mass kind of stuck at, like, a certain, like, for example, how you look right now? Would you ever be able to get to, like, the size of someone like The Rock?
Probably not genetically. Without... Because, you have to look at people who are different than you. Like, for instance, there's this thing where you hit, like, a fitness plateau just, like, naturally. Like, how much your body will naturally put on in your lifetime. So some people either are okay with that, and some people are like, well, that's some bullshit. I want to get some extra gains in my life. So then they go and get some, little... like help, shit like that. So like that's what happens, and so they're able to bulk up more. That's why when you see like bodybuilders who look like kind of gross, I mean, again, it's their life. I'm not gonna put you down for however you ever want to live your life. That's why, because they've injected a bunch of like human growth hormone and other stuff in their bodies, which let them grow further than what they're originally capable of doing. So like for me, I'm like 5'9", The Rock is 6'5", so anything I do, I could like become pretty muscular for my size, but I'm not gonna like bulk up to.
What I'm asking is, I'm not saying you could get 6'5" or.
Oh no, I know what you mean, like the muscle wise, probably not, because it's just genetics.
Okay, so and some
unless
people,
I was taking help,
their genetics can make them super skinny, no matter how much they work out, and they can't get muscly at all. Like they couldn't even get to like your size.
Again, like that would be a massive
type.
Outlier. That would be a massive outlier if they couldn't get to like something like my size. Because like honestly, I'm not all that impressed. I'm just fit with healthy. Like, but if they couldn't get to someone like my size, like that'd be a little thing for that. And I think that's an outlier problem. Like you'd have to go to like a doctor and get that checked out. Because I feel like if you're consistent and work out, like you definitely will make results. Like my results are pretty easy.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we hope that we helped you with that little segment there. And by that, I mean, I hope Jordan helped you with all of his big words about fitness.
Yeah.
Where I was just kind of like, yeah.
Be sure to come to my channel next week and for the next 12 weeks. You'll have a surprise there.
Yes, go follow him for more updates and stuff like that. And, I think I kind of want to ask just one more question today.
Sure.
And it's just going to be like a fun little personal question. And then we'll kind of end it for today because this has been a really fun, chill episode. We've learned a lot. We've laughed a lot, as you do. and Jordan.
Yes.
This is a question from me.
All right.
What's your favorite memory of me? And I'll ask one. I'll give one to you too, I guess. But yeah.
Favorite memory of me? Oh, my favorite memory of me is when I was born. And let's see. Favorite memory of Katy. God, there's so much. There's one that made me laugh really hard the other day, but we can't talk about that on the podcast. So we'll talk about something else. Okay,
I'm trying to think of one of my favorite memories with you.
See, I've been like going through like the playlist in my brain because there's a lot that's making me laugh.
When you flew down for my graduation, that was a good one.
Oh yeah, that was a nice one.
And when you, at Anime Expo, you wore your Rock Lee outfit, and you said that you wore it because it would be funny because I liked Rock Lee.
Oh, yeah, I did. I said I only wore it for you.
Or you said you wore it for me or something.
Oh, yeah, I did. I only wore it for you. That was funny.
And I was like, hell yeah. That was such a beautiful moment. I was like, oh, Jordan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, favorite memory. I like, honestly, I'm going to go old school. It's like our first deep
old
talk.
Old school memories.
Our first deep talk where we went out and got funnel cake together. It was just like, I was just like testing the waters. Like, okay, yeah, sure. She's like, let's see if she's a cool person to hang out with. And I was just talking to you. And I was just like, huh, you're really cool. And then like the thing with me is I did this thing where I was like, okay, I got enough friends in my life. I don't need any more. Like I'm off and stuff like that. And so the fact that like I opened myself up to you and you opened yourself up to me. And then we were just talking. And I was just like, that was a genuinely nice night. That was a
really good memory.
Yeah.
I will say one funny thing I remember about that memory is while we were talking, this girl came up and she was like trying to get them digits from me.
No, she was not. I know what you're talking about. The girl who dressed like Mountain Lady. Yeah,
it was one of those girls that there were a few. One came up to you and like she was talking to you for a good minute, and I was just like, oh, okay. And she was like there for like, oh my God, you do this. And like she was like giving a bucket list of everything that you do, and I was like, okay. And she was just there, just like, so, yeah, so what are you doing? And I was just like, we're just eating funnel cake.
Yeah, we were just eating funnel cake with chocolate sauce.
Oh, it was so good.
It was so good.
But, like, I just remember that girl coming up, and she was there for, like, 10
she was not
minutes.
into me that. Again, I'm an idiot, so I can't tell if this is true or not. See, chat, again,
I mean,
ladies,
it could have been, like, a
me.
fan thing. I don't know. But, like, she definitely seemed like, dude, I got to talk to him for, like, 10 minutes. And I was just like, I'll just eat my cake. I was just like eating my cake, chilling, and she was just like, "Oh, and remember this?" And you were like, "Yeah, yeah." I don't know what was being said,
I do.
It was a lot. That was a fun memory, yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I'm trying to think. What was another good one?
When
Shiitake mushrooms.
We went on that adventure to find ice cream cake, but we never got it, so we just got ice cream instead.
That's true. Oh, and then there was the one time when
remember the cookie heist at MomoCon? That was fun.
The cookie heist, the fucking cookie heist. That's one of my
good.
favorites.
And
yeah,
that was a good one. Yes.
That's a good one.
That was a good
one.
one.
And I think when I was going through some shit, and I called you, and you like listened to me for like an hour, and we made the Shaggy meme because I was depressed like for a little bit, like, or well, maybe not depressed, but I was definitely in a low place for that night, and I was like, I need to talk to a friendo, and you like stayed up with me, and we made a meme together, and it was so beautiful.
Like,
so whenever I see that meme, whenever I see that meme, I just remember it as like, that was when my friend helped cheer me up, and it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And now I'm enjoying making new memories, like with Paleo and you and Hero and Saber, and we're watching ponies, and it's fun.
And you passed our test and gauntlet. I'm so proud of you that you passed our gauntlet, so they accepted you.
Yes.
Perfect.
And I got into the secret server, the soft server ice cream.
Oh, yeah, the special server.
The special server. Got him.
Mm.
And yeah, I can't think of, I guess, one favorite then, because those are all really good ones.
There was also the time at like, what was it? We were watching South Park in your room or something like that. And then the bed broke or something. That was funny.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
That was so funny.
We were watching a good episode too. I think we watched some Simpsons too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we watched some Simpsons too. And then like we had a deep talk. And then we was like, oh yeah, that was fun. Which
is customary. If we're ever alone for like an hour, it's gonna turn into, and this is why you.
Yeah, God, Katy, I'm so happy.
And this is the tea, Jordan.
And this is the tea. Oh God.
And that's the tea.
And this is why you're quality, friend.
Ba-da-ba. Yes.
Jinx.
You owe me a tea.
Yeah.
I want to go to Disney and get in the teacup ride, but drink like a milkshake while I'm doing it just to fuck the system.
You're going to throw up.
Just to fuck the system.
Oh, man, that was horrible. I cannot do spinning rides at all.
I just really want a milkshake.
Go to,
milkshakes
what's
are
it
good.
called?
There's a Dairy Queen right up the street.
Yeah, exactly. Go to Dairy Queen.
I really want like a vanilla milkshake. I'm just like very particularly into milkshakes in this very moment.
Yeah, milkshakes are fucking awesome. I used to hate them, but now I go. You know what? Yeah, this is a little tangent. You know what I don't like that kids say nowadays?
What?
Fucking, yo, can I get the sauce for this? Can I get
you mean like the source?
I hate that shit so much. Sauce. Like if someone asks me, yo, what about that sauce? I mute them on the spot because I can't fucking take it. I can't. That shit annoys me because it's just like it's just It's not funny ignorant. It's just stupid ignorant. It's just like why? It's source.
Oh, wait.
It's fucking source.
Oh, wait. Because the meme is like, at least I think I'm interpreting it right. The sauce just means give me the source of the meme or something?
Yeah, exactly. Stop saying sauce. It's source.
Okay, so you just want them to say source.
Yes. If you ask me for the sauce, I'm going to mute your ass. If you ask me for the source,
honestly, there was a part of time where I legitimately didn't know what that meant.
Exactly.
But I've educated myself.
I've educated myself too, and I'm like not going to go with that education.
But now you're just like, you know what? People that say sauce, I know and understand and respect you, but you're not.
I don't respect you. I don't respect you at all, you motherfuckers. Don't listen to me. Katie's the one who respects you. I don't. Yeah, you keep talking to yourself in the mirror.
Damn.
Silly people.
Well, I think that is a beautiful place to end today's episode.
It is. Where can they find you, Katie?
They can find me at KaniDay Official on Instagram and Twitter. They can find me at KaniDay Cosplay on Facebook and KaniDay on YouTube. You can find me on the Creepy Productions page. You can find me on Dr. Crafty. And you can find us at WeirdFlexPod on Twitter and on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube at WeirdFlex But Okay Podcast. And where can they find you, Jordan?
Jaxblade everywhere. Jaxblade. If you
Google it,
that
bitch.
Name Jaxblade, it's me, Jaxblade. Yes, that's
Did
where
it.
you find me. Jaxblade Fitness on Twitter. That's where I'm most active.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. And like that, like the kiss from a rose on
Did you know that what is
Lady Snows. Bye.
That's Savor's favorite theme. Bye.
Wait, what's his favorite?
That kiss her. Did you know? If you sing that to him, he'll love it.
That's amazing.
I'm not even joking.
Alright.
Like that's his legit favorite song.
I'm gonna do that next time. It's gonna
Okay.
happen.
Do it.
Thank you for listening.
Bye. Stop.